Here are the two most important principles to give you a year of excellence this 2022. Warning, this video is bound to offend a lot of people, and as a matter of fact, even right now, I challenge you to watch this video to the end if you want to have the most excellent year you have had in a long while this 2022. Because if you can watch a 10 minutes video that's going to teach you how to make the most of your year, then you're not ready to make the most of the year. So if you're not ready to watch to the end, it's probably time you click off this video right now. Without further ado, let's dive right in. When we talk of excellence, you making the most of your year, we are talking about you living to your full potential, you doing as much as you could, and you doing things to the best of your capacity. No procrastination, no excuses, no pushing things further. And that brings us to the two biggest hindrances to excellence and success in the lives of 99% of people on the planet today. Number one is procrastination, and number two is indiscipline. We are going to look at them in-depthly, and in just the next few minutes, you're going to see how to overcome these and make this year the most excellent year yet. Procrastination. If you have been watching and following our content, then you know we have released a lot of videos on you beating procrastination. But here I'm going to share this short story with you that's going to make the point. A couple of years back, I took a flight and I was going for the festive period to spend time with family and I had a product to release, but I procrastinated and saying, well, I can do this later. This is the festive period. Why stress with work? Let's enjoy. And on that flight, in the midst of some turbulence and people screaming and shouting, I really thought this was it. This was the end. And I realized the only thought of remorse that came in my spirit then was, if I end here, I would have failed to have released that last product. I mean, if I had released that product, I would have had confidence and comfort even in myself, telling myself that even if this is the end, I'm proud that with the time I had, I did the most and the best I could. I didn't procrastinate. Now that was something big for me. So you need to understand that with procrastination, what you're procrastinating on could be the last thing you do. And if you carry that mindset all throughout life, well, let me write that article, let me release that song, let me write that book, let me start that business, let me start that school, because it could be the last thing I do before I die, then you'll be more conscious when it comes to procrastination. I tell you, when I touched down from that plane, for the most part, I repented because I realized now everything I do could be the last thing I'm doing. That's the mindset of someone who wants to be excellent at everything they do. And you're not wrong, because someday it will be true. One book, one song, one business venture, one opportunity you will engage in will be the last thing you will do, and will probably be the last thing you'll be remembered for, or the last thing you didn't do because you procrastinated upon. And so that is up to you. Take a look at what the scripture says in Ephesians 5 verse 14 down. It says, therefore, he says, awake, you who sleep, and arise from the dead. Verse 15 says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but be wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So it is saying, awake, the time is passing, death is coming. You know, whether you think about that you're going to die soon or not, whether you're going to die someday or not, death is coming. So one of the biggest ways to conquer your procrastination is understanding that your time is passing, and someday it will be the end or the last thing you did. So you want to do it well, and you want to do it effectively and excellently. I want to challenge you, if you're really serious, what is the thing you've been procrastinating on over the past year? I want you to take a statement and a declaration of commitment. This year, 2022, I'm going to start that business, write that book, release that song, take on that venture as though it is the last thing I'm doing with my life, because it could actually be the last. Go ahead. If you really want to wake up and redeem your time, now is the time. Number two, indiscipline. Indiscipline and the lack of self-discipline comes in conflicting choices. And that's the difference between indiscipline, the lack of self-discipline, and procrastination. I heard Will Smith say that self-love is equal to self-discipline, because if you really say you love yourself, then you're going to discipline yourself. Because what's the definition of self-discipline? Self-discipline is you making the hard choices of doing what is in your best interest now, instead of doing what feels good or gratifies you now. And what is love? Love, when you say you love someone, you love your parents, you love your kids, you love your car, you are making decisions and choices that are in the best interest of that person or thing. So we don't understand what self-love is. So we claim that we love ourselves, and we upload a status that we have filtered all of our flaws, and we say, oh, self-love. Whereas we have said this year, one of our goals and objectives is to become more financially independent. And after posting self-love, we go right out and incur heavy debt to buy things that we don't really need, just so that we can show off and satisfy our instant gratification, thereby putting ourselves in a deeper mess financially. We speak of self-love and we want to be healthy physically, but we go right out and eat the junk food that is detrimental to our system. So is that really self-love, or is it self-hate? So remember, self-love is directly equal to self-discipline. If you love your car, you're not going to run that car off the bridge. Rather, you take proper care of that car. So if you want to improve your self-discipline this year, you have to make the commitment to start evaluating every choice that you're making, if it's a proof that you love yourself or not. Are the choices in your best interest, or are the choices working against your best interest? The moment you really begin to love yourself and to stop yourself right in the tracks of making decisions that are not in line with love for yourself, you realize that your self-discipline will begin to grow gradually on its own until it becomes exponential. Remember, we are simply a product of the choices that we make daily, and all the choices that we are making put us on a course or on a path to a specific destination. So if we have a desire to be healthier, to be stronger, to be happier, to be wealthier, and yet we keep making the choices to be with the wrong people, the wrong groups, the wrong relationships, eating the wrong things, watching the wrong things, and spending our time doing all the wrong things, we have put ourselves on the course to go the opposite direction of where we want to go. And that, my friends, isn't self-love. So you can become more personally disciplined this year if you truly begin to love yourself in the essence of the word love, which is to care and look out for your best interest. Not what feels good, but doing what is good. Remember, to really become a person of excellence this year, number one, you have to do every task and approach every opportunity or every idea as though it could be the last thing you're engaging in. And number two, you have to evaluate every choice to see if it is in your best interest. That is loving yourself. As I conclude, many people may look at this and they get overwhelmed that how are they going to find things to do to be excellent. Excellence is not necessarily in doing big things, but excellence is in doing the little things in a big way. So it doesn't matter the opportunities that 2022 throws at you. Don't fold your arms waiting for the big moment, the big time, the big opportunity. I'll start committing myself with excellence when I finally get my dream job or finally get... No. Whatsoever task is before you, remember, you have to give it your best, redeeming the time because it could be the last. Excellence, remember, doing the little things in a big way. So I challenge you right now to drop this video and pick a piece of paper and a pen and write your goals, your destination that you want to be this year. Evaluate the choices you are making daily, the choices you made today, the choices you made yesterday. Are they putting you on the right course there? Is it a proof that you love yourself, or it's a proof that you're actively working against yourself? Then evaluate yourself and decide the new course or the right course you're supposed to take. Success, my friends, is very easy. We just need to make that little effort to say, okay, if I really love myself, I'm not going to let you do this. I don't really feel like doing this, but the truth is this could be the last thing I do. I may never have another chance, so I would give myself in irrespective of how I feel at the moment. So I want to encourage and challenge you and believe if you put this in practice, 2022 is going to be your most excellent year yet. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I want to say a big thank you to all our patrons for supporting this work and making this video available. If you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss our next videos. I'm Bodas Djoumessi from Wisdom for Dominion, and see you in the next video.